Welcome to the Global Game. This is Soch 100, Tuesday, Thursday, 11 o'clock class. And they're all here to play the stakeholders in the global game. Each of them has made up their own scripts based on their own research, and we are now going to show what they really do, not what they say on the media, but what they really do, and also their connections to the other players. Okay, give a hand to support these brave people, and we're going to start with the CIA Pentagon.
We are the CIA Pentagon. We listen to the multinational corporations and whatever third world government they're trying to take over. If they don't cooperate with the corporations, we go in, we train their third world military, we take out their government and all those innocent third world peasants and workers. We've killed over 6 million innocent people. We train our killing machines at the School of Americas, which is now known as the Western Hemisphere Security Corporation, I believe. We don't care who we kill, as long as the job is done.
Okay, to add on. Okay, to add on to what she said, the CIA is very bad people, and we give our guns to the arms dealers, who then sell the guns to both terrorists and third world military just for profit. And we actually like the fact that there's more war in third world nations, because that helps create chaos and allows these guys, who are essentially our bosses, the multinational corporations, to go in and say that they will bring stability to these countries and peace and job opportunities, and that kind of brainwashes the third world peasants, and that is our job. We also, so we're pretty much the thugs of corporations and banks around the world to get things done. So thank you for your cooperation, America, for helping us make America the best country on the planet.
Alright, so we're the arms dealers. So
we are arms dealers. We are solely in this for profit, and we say it is for jobs and for geopolitical strategy, but it's really just for profit. Okay. The American people's tax money goes to weapon creation, when their tax money goes to the US military. First, they go to the multinational corporations, and they fund the weapon production in the US military. And we sell guns to both sides, both the military and third world military. What the third world military does is that they suppress their people so that the multinational corporations can have their people go in and take their resources.
So we get our weapons from the CIA and Pentagon. Like he said, it comes from your tax money. So we take these weapons and we go over to the Third World Military. Oh yeah, we love you guys. Here's some guns. There's some more shipments coming in. So we get our paycheck. You get your weapons. We're good. But the problem is that when they get their guns and let's see, third world government and elite, they suppress their peasants and workers, and that way terrorists are born. And I mean, they're just freedom fighters really trying to protect their own rights, but they're all being suppressed. And then we all have this depleted uranium and really bad weapons. It destructs the environment, and we don't really care because we get all the money and all the profit goes into our pockets, and that's all we care about. So who cares what happens in the world? We're getting our cut. So and that's it. Thanks for all your cooperation, everybody. We love you.
So, we are the IMF, International Monetary Fund, and the World Bank. Basically, the World Bank is the bank, the fund is its own self. The bank, basically, we go along, we're looking our targets at here. Third world peasants, not really them, they're elites. Because with their elites, we can bring them into membership. Currently, we hold 182 members, from which with their membership dues, basically we require $215 billion in funds, in which any third world nation, if they want to increase their or improve their economic structure, they can tap into it at any time. And so basically, the International Monetary Fund is the one who works with the bank to supply the loans or the money that these nations can tap into.
So basically what we do is we go to third world government and elites, and we offer them a better life for their people by telling them that they can build power plants and airports and good infrastructure. And I send in corporate officers that I like to call economic hitmen. And they come in and get them to sign contracts to take out these enormous loans with interest rates that are sometimes up to 50% of their gross national income.
Hello, sir. So, would you like to better your economy for your people? Sure. Okay, so we got a lot of funds here. They're affordable. And if you just like to read through, well, okay. All I need you to do is here, sign here, sign here. Fancy, huh? Sign with the finger. You get this kind of technology later too when you give it to our loans. Get deep there. Thank you. I'll explain this later. Don't worry. So you're all in good hands now. Actually, you just need to comply to some of our terms for which are on this contract that you signed. Thank you for doing business with you. So, as an economic hitman, loans, money, is our very strong weapon, our primary weapon. But thanks to help with the media, you guys can see the fine print here. IMF, loans equal high interest rates, which the companies or third world nationalists and government holders, they can't pay back. Sometimes they'll have to pay 50% of the companies or the national gross income, but they're still in debt. So we own them. Thank you.
So now that they've taken out loans that they will never be able to pay back, they're basically in the palm of our hands. And this is really helpful to the US when we need favors like military bases in their countries, UN votes, or natural resources like oil. Thank you.
We are multinational corporations. We are transnational, actually, with no national identity, no patriotism. We don't really care where we're from. We don't have any patriotism for our government. In fact, we don't want any government. We try to control it as much as we can to have as much of a free market as possible. We make record-breaking profits while half of the world's population survives on less than $2 a day. And we also pay less than 10% of US federal taxes, and a lot of our most successful corporations, we've gotten away with not paying any taxes, actually, and we're really proud of that. Of the 100 best economies in the world, 51 of those are corporations. We're basically like, we're not part of a country, we are our own, we are ourselves. We don't care about the externalities like the environment or anything like that. We're not an individual person, even though they like to say we are. We're a machine. We are rampaging, and all we care about is higher profits, and that's okay, because that's what the law requires us to do. The law requires us to get higher profits, and that is what we're doing.
Hello, gang. I wanna welcome you all to the World Games, and I want to thank you guys all for playing. I'd especially like to first thank the federal government for making us the gods we are. We are the new gods of the planet. Everybody bow down to us. Let's start here. I want to thank the CIA and Pentagon for helping soften up these third world countries for us. If they decide not to cooperate, then they totally can go inside there, create some instability in the government, and then we can send in the US military to stabilize the area. Well, I want to thank the arms dealers for providing all our third world military with weapons, the weapons they need, and the terrorists too, to help create instability and pit those two against each other, so that we can send in our US military. The IMF, World Bank, I'd like to thank them for opening up the concessions in the third world countries for us, so we can totally go in and take advantage of all their resources. We'll take the water from their water catchment, we'll take the air that they breathe, and we'll totally pollute it for them. Oh, the WTO, the World Trade Organization, they help us out domestically in a lot of the instituting the economical policies in America. The media, I gotta love these guys because they totally keep the American public in the dark about what we're doing in these foreign countries, and they totally push our products that we sell to our consumers, the American public. Well, I don't really care for these guys. They're on a hit list, the NGO, because they're totally against us. Even these guys, the United Nations, we don't care what they have to say about world policy and stuff. These guys, some of them are in our pockets because they help us create instability in these third world countries, the terrorists. Thanks, gang, for helping us do that. Third world military, they also help us too. On the other end, sometimes we pit the terrorists and the third world military against each other, so that our US soldiers can go into their country. And of course, the federal government, I already thanked them already. The third world peasants and workers, we totally exploit the third world peasants. But they're lucky that they have a job and that they can make 4 cents a day. Third world government elite, they're also in our pockets. And then if we decide not to take out a loan through the IMF and World Bank, then we totally send the CIA into creating stability in the area. The global labor movement, you know, they're totally against us for the good of of the third world peasants or the labor movement all over. But yeah, we actually want more deregulation of commercial industries, and we're totally against labor movements. The church, they help us butter up the third world countries. We send them in, for instance, in South America, they totally go in and not subjugate, but butter up the natives. And then we totally fund their missions. We send in healthcare and stuff, and get them to agree to giving us the rights to mine their lands for oil or whatever resources that we can get our hands a hold of. The American public, they're totally clueless. Majority of them are. I mean, we keep them in the dark because we manipulate the media, and we totally love them because they're our biggest consumers, and they're the reason we do what we do, is to maintain the American way of life. Environmentalists, I got not too much to say. A bunch of tree huggers. That's about all I get to say.
I am the World Trade Organization. I'm secretive and mysterious. I'm the love child of multinational corporations and greedy capitalist governments. I'm a non-democratic organization. I have no rules to follow and no one to answer to. I make rules that make it easier for the 0.00001% to make more money. But it's no fun making rules unless someone's going to follow them. In our case, we want the world to follow them. And we want your government to sign our trade agreements. Where are you? Sign them all. We have NAFTA, GATT, APEC, my personal favorite, the TPP. Let's go ahead and get signing if you don't mind. Let's see, where's Congress? Where is Congress? You are Congress. Oh my gosh, you're right here. So I'm gonna need you to make some laws that make food labels more obscure. Because the American people don't care what's in their food as long as it's tasty, right guys? Here's a coupon for McDonald's. There you go. And I'm also gonna need you to make some laws that make clothing labels easier to read by taking off the country of origin and who made them and all of that kind of stuff. Because the American people don't care where their clothes were made or who made them as long as they're cute. I scarf. We're gonna have some of those coming in from Singapore. Write your congressman, tell him to kind of make those laws a little easier because I'm trying to bring stuff in and these kids are making them and they don't like that, but write a letter so you can get more of those half price. Okay, all right. Yes, thank you. Now that you've signed, you're gonna have to start changing your laws to go along and make rich people richer and make free trade move along. So, I want the third world governments to open their back doors and let my corporate friends come in from multinational corporations. Once inside, they'll go to work exploiting your peasants and polluting the land and water. All in the name of profits that your country will most likely never see, but you'll be better off in the long run. That's me, I'm the World Trade Organization.
Good afternoon. This is Tom Martinson with your 11 o'clock news report. And excuse my outfit, it's Casual Tuesday at the news office. And I would like to tell you a story about the arms dealers selling their weapons to third world countries, but instead my bosses, which are also controlled by the multinational corporations, are telling me to tell you a story about Miley Cyrus twerking at the red carpet. But along with that, I'd like to tell you about third world peasants getting slaughtered by our own country. But unfortunately, I'm not allowed to tell you anything about that either. Instead, Rochelle's going to tell you about the new sales.
Hello, I am the media, and all I care about is consumerism, and my big focus is the American people. I want them to buy everything. How are you guys doing today? You guys got coupons? You should buy all the products you can. Be the in thing, right? I basically am a tool for the multinational corporations to sell their products to these people. And they don't realize that they're just being controlled. They're being dumbed down by the media.
So, I am non-government organizations. I'm the good guys. I try to bring information to the people. That is my goal, to help you guys vote and control your government. I do not like these guys. They control you guys right now, and the multinational corporations. They sell you guys products and make you guys think about war and that other people are bad. But in reality, they're just the terrorists and the third world military are really just like trying to survive. And what else? Environmentalists, Greenpeace, they are a part of me. I don't like the media. They don't tell the whole truth. They gotta start knowing exactly what they're saying and tell the whole truth. I'm usually non-profit. I'm funded partly by governments, but usually I'm just trying to do good for the people.
Hi everyone, I'm a representative of the United Nations made up of 190 plus members, and we are the good guys trying to help other nations solve their problems that they can't fix on their own. And one of our additional members is the United States, who are the federal government and Congress. Every year they're supposed to pay their dues, but as of 2009 they owe us $1.2 billion, and they didn't pay it until now for only $736 million, so they still have a balance that they owe us. The United States, who sometimes have members in the multinational corporations, don't have them pay our dues to us. Instead, they use their money to go to the CIA and fund third world military who give arms dealers and use those weapons to kill third world peasants and workers. So we are the good guys trying to avoid war and the spreading of diseases. So we work with the environmentalists who work for a greener earth, the global labor movement for equal work opportunities, and we also work with the non-government organizations. Thank you.
Hello, we are the terrorists. So basically, the third peasants and workers, we're freedom fighters for them. We protect them and we fight for them, for our country and our rights, to keep people off our land. The American people, these people right here, Americans, shoot them. And they believe we are bad people, although we are because we kill all the Americans. But they don't know the truth because this is all they know right here, is this television and what they see off TV, and they see the terrorists doing bad things to America. But really, they don't know that we are just protecting these people right here. Our weapons, we were supplied by the arms dealers over there. They give us all the good stuff to bomb these people. Here's my cousin Paul Rose.
Hi, I'm not just a terrorist, I'm a freedom fighter. So the CIA, Pentagon, they help us out. They come into our country, they make deals with us, and then sometimes they don't follow through with the deals. That's why we don't like them. So. Boom. The multinational corporations, they help us stay against the third world military, so we're both like fighting for our own reasons. Media, they like to tell people lies about us. They want to say that we're bad and everybody should be scared of us, but we're actually just fighting for our country, how America fights for their country. And that's about it, you guys. Thank you.
We are the Third World Military, and we are hired by the CIA to kill terrorists and Third World peasants, which is our own people.
We are trained at the Pentagon, known as Schools of America, and they train us to repress our own people, which is the Third World peasants and workers, and we are supported by the armed elites. How's everybody doing today? That was very exciting. Okay. I'm your federal government in Congress. So I'm made up of two halves, the House of Representatives and then the Senate. For all of you who don't know, the Senate serves a 6-year term and the House of Representatives serves a 2-year term. And we don't have limits on how many times we can get reelected. So, multinational corporations. I am the best investment you can make. A couple $100,000 in my piggy bank, gets me elected, and then I have a 90% incumbency rate. Thank you, American people. Thank you, American people. You don't like the government, but you think your senator's okay, because somehow the parts are different than the whole. I'm not gonna try to explain that. Okay? The CIA / Pentagon. I take the money I take from the American people in taxes, and I give it to you, and the CIA does whatever the CIA does, and the Pentagon, as far as I'm concerned, you make bombs and you blow stuff up. It's just the way it works. I'm sorry. I don't deal with you. They kind of have me like locked, because they are my credit. They're the bank. I take my credit out of them. If all goes wrong, America falls into a ditch and we never recover. That's just the way it is. And I'm kind of backed up on my payments, I'm sorry to say it. I am. And if I default on any of my payments, we get sequesters. That means cutting of things like public schools and healthcare and all that good fun stuff that you all take for granted because you trust your government. Me. Multinational corporations, I talked to you already. Let's see. World Trade Organizations. So, the World Trade Organization is actually really bad for me. I got into it because I was pressured by a bunch of other countries, and then China went and kicked my ass in like the 50s. I'm also not allowed to do anything that helps my country when it comes to trade. I can't impose large tariffs or anything like that. And this free market system that's supposed to be good, it's not. It's really not. It was a really bad idea. It's kind of like trickle-down economics. It doesn't work. The media kind of pays attention to me when either I don't do anything or I do something stupid. They don't cover me when I do something important, or at least they only cover like half of me. So they cover like one of the houses, because it's usually when one house has control, the other house has the other side. So currently, the Republicans have control of the House of Representatives, and then the Democrats have control of the Congress. And the funny thing is, this Congress, the 113th Congress, is in track to be the most unproductive Congress in the history of how long we've been keeping track of what the Congress does. The last I checked, we had passed 36 bills in our first session, as compared to the 112th Congress, which passed around 235. So we're really good at doing nothing. Really good. Non-governmental organizations, I try to make you happy, but I don't do a lot for you, I'm sorry. The United Nations, like I said, I'm like the worst union member ever. I never pay my dues, and they keep trying to kick me out, but I'm kind of a big thing. Sorry. Terrorists, we just don't like you. That's just the way it is. Be afraid of the American people. They want to hurt you. Third world military, I let my Pentagon handle you because I'm a politician. I don't do stuff like that. We lawyers don't like to get our hands dirty. It's just the way it is. Peasants, we help you out as long as it helps us out, and that's not a lot. Save face and all that. Third world governments, we play ball with you as long as you play ball with them. Yeah. Global labor movements. Yeah. The church. We try to get support from them whenever we can, especially as Republicans. We do love our church a lot. We also like to get divorced and remarried and have affairs. It's really great. I love the church. Thank you, church. American people, how are you doing today? Do you guys actually know how long we're in session? Okay, so Congress actually changes how long they're in session every year. They come up with a calendar, and this one actually, they have 136 days actually doing stuff, and then they have 235 days like of vacation. And I get actually paid that entire time. Taxpayers, American people, you pay me $170,000 to do absolutely nothing. Yeah, you could, but I need it because I'm old. Like really old. I die in office. Okay? Also, as long as I serve my required time of 6 years, I am set for life. So thank you again, American people. I am set for life. I get paid until I croak, full health care, all that kind of good fun stuff. I appreciate it, I really do. And the environmentalists. We appease you because we don't like listening to you. We give you just enough so you leave us alone.
Okay, so I am the third world peasants and workers, and we are being screwed. You don't even know. Okay, so the classic tale of how we get screwed starts actually with the church. So what happens is, they find us, and they baptize us, so like, yeah, now we can't fight. So the multinational corporations, they come in, so like, what should I call it? They want to exploit our natural resources. When they take our resources, they like a big company like Texaco in Ecuador, they wanted our oil, so they scooted off our land. And when they scooted off our land, they got their oil, and then there's a portion of the oil that's impure. So usually they just pump it back in the well and then take the good oil that they need. But to save money, they spilled it all over our roads, and we're walking barefoot on oil, which is carcinogenic, so it gives us cancer. Yeah. And then in more developed country, where are you? Who am I looking for? Oh, okay, big corporations can't. Wow. Okay, so what happens is they want to put kind of dictatorship-ish people in office so they can control us. And when they do that, the third world government and elites are kind of corrupt and they try to suppress us as much as they could. And what you call it? So then the big corporations, they're inside of our cities, they're inside of our towns. They give us jobs, but their pay is really crappy. So they give us like 5 cents an hour, we get $500 a year or so, and that's like nothing. So what happens is, a good alternative job we can do is join the military. Joining the military will give us like way more money than that. And then the problem about the military is, because the third world government and elite is being controlled by the well actually we're controlled by CIA, but then the multinational corporations are kind of CIA in charge. So in essence, the CIA is their bitch, they are their bitches, and then the third world military is the third world elites bitches. So I am the bitches, bitch.
I am the third world government and elite. I suppress my people, stealing their basic will to be human. In order to spur economic development and a better future for my country, I take out loans from the IMF and World Bank. And if I don't comply with their standards, I am killed by the CIA and Pentagon. My third world military is sold arms by the arms dealers, which is paid for by the American taxpayer, who of course knows nothing of this sort. In conclusion, did you know that Forever 21 has a sale on chinos? Well, all of this is built, your Western culture is built on the backs of the third world peasants and workers, thanks to the multinational corporations who destroy our environment and suppress our people also. But what you don't know, the American people, is that this is all, in effect, leading to the third worldization of the Western world.
I'm the global labor movement. Basically, I am kind of like a union, except I'm for people, all the workers in the world, including the American people. The environmentalists are kind of like us, except you got the earth back and I got the people's back. And you guys don't even know what we do. And the church, I don't have anything to say about that. And the third world government, you're just suppressing your workers and us as well. We're not a threat to you, we're just trying to help your people. And we're trying to help you guys, but you guys can't even help yourself. For the Congress, you're not helping. And the third world military often kills us because we do protests and we try to gain people's rights. Next time you can take my arm. And terrorists, you're helping your own people, I'm helping your workers. And the United Nations, thank you. We need to unite people all together. I like you guys. And then the non-government organizations. I'm just like you guys on a smaller scale. I focus on workers of the world. You guys focus on the world. Media, I'm invisible to you.
pro-trade organizations, you're doing exactly opposite of what I'm trying to do. Thank you. And the corporations, it only takes a fraction of your profits to even provide people with decent wages and working conditions. But you guys don't care, and you're killing us indirectly. And the World Bank, stop controlling the world. I'm still like, if I got guns from you guys, they're gonna cause terrorists. And the CIA, we're just trying to gain people's rights. Stop trying to kill us.
I am the church, and the church has two sides to them, a good side and a bad side. But for the bad side, we are sometimes best friends with the national corporation. Don't stand there. Okay. They pay me to go into third world countries and become a preacher to the third world workers and peasants. My job is to get to know them and their lifestyle and to educate them about God and turn them into Christians. The third world government and elite falls in love with me because I begin to control their people for them. I brainwash the third world workers and peasants so that my best friends who pay me, the multinational corporations, can come and steal land from the peasants and workers of the third world and get oil from underground or other natural resources. Thank you.
Aloha and welcome. Just kidding. We are the American people. We think through the. Oh, I'm talking so loud. Give me my TV. So, basically, we think that through media, that our nation promotes freedom, human rights, equality, and democracy. And we basically learn through everything through media about the sales, you know, because we love sales. So we always look at the media.
Especially Black Friday is coming up. We're excited.
Look at this new scarf that I got, you know. Okay. We don't know them. Oh my god, look at this handsome man over here. We're matching. Oh my god! So they're the terrorists, but we don't know them. So this is the media.
We love the media. Thank you for giving us our ads for Black Friday. So you know when you guys are old,
Gotta go spend that dollar. And this is the multinational corporations. They love us, and we love them because we're like their number one consumers. Oh my god, so I have like a cut, and you guys are arms dealers. So like, I was wondering if you can like deal with my arm. Like, no, my arm. No, just kidding, I don't know. Yeah, so that's what we know. Nothing except about the environmentalists, which help us about our concerns about the environment because of all the dirty water, you know, in the rivers.
So yeah, we love the environmentalists. We're totally for them. The church. Yeah, we like the church. Yeah, praise Jesus. Okay, so I don't know about you. Oh, the government. Yeah, taxes. We love you guys. Okay. But yeah, we don't really know much, so thank you.
conserving and preserving the environment or natural resources. We inform the American people about all the dangers and the harm that we do to the planet that we live on. Our enemies, the worst people ever, the multinational corporations, and as well as the WTO. It's funny you guys are sitting next to each other. So these guys, they create all these externalities. They pollute our lands, our air, our water. There are companies such as Monsanto who There are companies such as Monsanto who create all these chemicals, hundreds and thousands of them, and they hack into third world countries, those poor guys over there, and they leave just to drill for their oil, so they end up leaving them with polluted lands and all of that. The WTO, we don't like you either. You create all of these free trade agreements, and so if the corporations want to go into your land and take your resources, but we fight against them, and these free trade agreements allow them to overrule the government and do what they want. So it's either you pay them for their future lost profits, or you just let them go in and take what they want. We also, well, the government, I guess it's okay when we try to create laws that protect the environment, yet the WTO still overrules us. They even have laws that tell the corporations that the number one thing that they must do is make profits. So even the federal government is on their side, and they're all taking over our environment. So go green.
One of the biggest contributors to environmental issues is the US military. They emit over 7,000 pounds of externalities, and they're basically almost doing nothing to try to stop it.
If you need anybody killed secretly, give us a call.
Yeah, we're bad. We're really bad, okay? Bad. We have caused a lot of things in America and the world secretly to cause a lot of chaos and fear and to keep everyone on their side, the multinational corporations. Honestly, that's all we're here for. Here you go, here's a gun. You can speak.
Okay, now I can sell this and make profit. And that's all we care about because that's all we care because money is power and everybody loves money. So, and guns and weapons and all kinds of bombs and everything are very bad for the environment. Go talk to the environmentalists, they'll tell you more. There's actually like depleted uranium. Why we sell it is because it's actually really dense and it penetrates armor, but it's also radioactive and chemically toxic. But we don't care about that, and people are dying, and I mean it's causing really bad effects all over the world, and we're messing up our whole world, but we get the profit, so it's all good.
Bro, you weren't supposed to tell that. For all they know, that's 100 rounds of democracy per second. Anyways, you think with all the war we're starting and like supporting, there are people to stop us? Well, there was United Kingdoms, but you know that your treaty didn't really pass. Forgot to mention that because we have friends in high places, multinational corporations.
some unfinished business. Anyway, to recap, the IMF and the World Bank, we're supposed to be in charge of preventing another World War II, or what do you call that? 1920s Great Depression. That's why we're funded after World War II in 1944. And basically, I just gotta say thank you again to the media. Thank you BBC News for keeping the world distracted away. Like this morning's press release on Obama's movement to suppress Iran's nuclear programs. Keep them distracted, the public distracted. Thank you, Fox News, keeping the American consumerisms going. So, it's just great to be in power because as a director of the puppets, the hand playing the game here, when we go over to our third world governments and elites, basically we impose a ball and chain, which is structural adjustment programs. When we own them after their high interest rates, when they give into our loans, they can't pay anything back. But let me just show you what happens when things don't go as planned.
Basically, they have a choice of oppressing and hurting their own people, or being assassinated by our friends in the CIA, who we like to call jackals. When this happens, we put in our own evil dictators that we would like to see running their countries. So we asked the generals of the Third World military. Just wanted to illustrate how incredibly awful we are.
Hello again. These are multinational corporations again. I just want to thank the government, the federal government, for giving us the strength we need to impose our will geopolitically across the globe. And what I think the future holds for the rest of the world is more voter suppression, more deregulation, corporate deregulation, and more union busting ahead. Thank you.
Hi, I would like to thank the media, especially for keeping the people on our side. Also the CIA for keeping people in check. Basically, there's been a lot of harsh accusations in this game about us, but really, you made us. And you guys, the American people, you're keeping us going. You're buying our stuff, you're ignoring the people being oppressed because of it, and we'd like to thank you for that.
Well, I've been sitting here taking notes, listening to some very compelling arguments from the global labor movement and the environmentalists, and it reminded me that we're going to need to make some more laws. We're going to need less unionization. Sorry, guys. And we're going to also need to open up those environmental laws and chop them up so that we can get some more oil and make some more profit for my best friends over here.
All right, well, as the media, we put on TV and radio stations whatever our bosses tell us to, and in their interest, they want us to keep the American people dumb and not knowing of what's really going on within the world. And it's not really the news anchors or the journalists' fault, really. They're basically the scapegoats of the news stations because some of them don't really want to tell these false stories, and some of them have even been fired from their jobs for refusing to tell certain stories. And basically, the media, we're the puppets of the corporations. We do whatever they tell us to, and we're under their complete control. But as for the American people, they're our puppets. we mold them into whatever we make them out to be. And yeah, thank you.
As the media, we're not just the news anchors, we're also on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're everything you read, everything you hear on the radio, we're everywhere. And you can't stop it, and you don't know what to believe, because we choose to have you believe what you want.
As non-government organizations, we just want to encourage people to participate in political, just anything political, vote, and know what you're voting for. Even when you're buying something, you're voting for something, so just be aware.
As the United Nations, we're trying to establish world peace, but we can't do our job if its own members don't help each other out. And if we were to write down how many treaties that the US refused to sign, it would go on forever. There's too many to count, like the ratification of international human rights.
So once again, we are the terrorists, but we are only labeled as terrorists. In actuality, we are the freedom fighters for our country.
I'd like to point out that not everyone in the government is corrupt or in the pocket of the multinational corporations. There's some of us who actually care about doing something and helping out the American people. The reason that the multinational corporations have power is because of a ruling called Citizens United, giving corporations personhood, giving them the rights of human beings, free speech, and such like that. I'd also like to mention that the Congress is on Twitter, so you can tweet your congressman to annoy the hell out of them and get them to do things for you. I kid you not, I'm on their Twitter site right now. You can find Mazie Hirona at Mazie Hirona on Twitter, and the same thing with Brian Schatz. It's actually some pretty interesting stuff. Apparently she was talking to Steven Spielberg about Jurassic Park 4. It's exciting.
Okay, so I gotta talk about people who I hate, but I didn't get to thank my friends. So, thank you environmentalists for keeping our land clean. You stupid. Thank you for the church. Thank you for giving us medicine and stuff and letting us keeping us healthy. But the bad thing is you don't like birth control, so we're breeding like rabbits and there's too much consequence. Global labor movement. Thank you for trying to give us fair working condition and fair working pay, but we're still not getting it. Hate you. Hate you. My brother's in the military, but hate the rest of you. Thank you for trying to fight for us. What are you? Oh, thanks for trying to help us. You don't do shit for us. Neither do you. And, oh, this makes it really fun. Okay.
So, all in all, the third world government and elite is a tool to support the interests of the world national corporations, or multinational corporations, arms dealers, IMF, and US government. We really have no power over our people. We either accept the power that we are given by the IMF and World Banks, or we are destroyed and we are replaced. The third world countries are always open for business.
All we have to say is that we're trying to unite the workers of the world so everybody can make enough money to